We're billing you $200 per month for a family membership, Dad announced. Everyone pitches in for sisters' kids' activities. I was the only one without kids. That's fair, I said, and paid for 6 months. Then I stopped showing up to anything. A year later, when they saw my son's birth announcement and realized I'd had a baby they knew nothing about, the group chat exploded with 150+ calls and texts. Can you imagine being charged to be part of your own family? Literally, paying a monthly fee just to stay in their good graces? That's what happened to me. And then, a year later, my entire family found out I'd had a baby they knew absolutely nothing about. The group chat? Oh, it didn't just light up, it exploded. My name is Daniel. I'm 38, and my family, bless their hearts, thinks I'm a bookkeeper at a grocery store. That's what I told them 7 years ago, and I never corrected them.
Why?
Because the truth is, I own 12 rental properties worth over $4 million. Last year alone, my commissions hit $340,000. But if they knew that, I'd be nothing more than an ATM, and I learned that lesson the hard way, watching my brother. See, I'm the middle child. My older sister, Rachel, she was always the golden child. Married young, 3 kids by 28, the perfect stay-at-home mom by my parents' standards. Her husband, Mark, he's in sales, decent money, but with 3 kids in sports, music, tutoring, summer camps, they live paycheck to paycheck. My younger brother, Trevor, works in tech, makes good money, but spends it all on travel. He learned about family help the hard way too. When he got his first good tech job, Dad asked him to co-sign a loan for Rachel's minivan. Trevor, being Trevor, said yes. Rachel defaulted. Trevor's credit was trashed. He was stuck with an $18,000 bill. Family helps family, Dad said when Trevor complained. That phrase, it's a weapon in my family. It taught me everything I needed to know. Success in our family? It meant you became the bank. So, I kept my mouth shut. My wife, Sarah, understood completely. She grew up in a similar family. Don't tell them, she warned me after I closed on my 3rd property. The moment they know you have money, you won't have money anymore. And she was right. Rachel's kids' activities escalated wildly a few years back. The costs were insane. Travel soccer, piano, hockey, gymnastics. She'd post about it constantly on Facebook, always with the martyr emoji. Another $340 hockey tournament. So worth it for my babies. I even overheard Rachel and Mark arguing in the bathroom at Christmas a couple years ago. Mark was saying, "We can't afford this. Something has to give." Rachel snapped, "We're billing you $200 per month for a family membership," Dad announced. Everyone pitches in for sisters' kids' activities. I was the only one without kids. That's fair, I said, and paid for 6 months. Then I stopped showing up to anything. A year later, when they saw my son's birth announcement and realized I'd had a baby they knew nothing about, the group chat exploded with 150+ calls and texts. Ed back. My parents will help, they always do. If not, we'll ask Daniel or Trevor. I froze, holding a plate of cookies. Sarah, bless her, appeared next to me. Walk away, she whispered. I did. Then came the infamous family meeting last March. Dad's text was ominous. Important. Everyone needs to be there. Sarah had a work conflict, so I went alone. Everyone was there. Mom, Dad, Rachel, Mark, Trevor, Amy. Rachel's kids were at the grandparents'. Dad laid a printed spreadsheet in the middle of the table like it was a legal document. We need to talk about fairness, he began. My gut clenched. I should have left then. Rachel and Mark are struggling with the kids' activities, he continued. These opportunities are important. They build character, build futures, but they're expensive. Mom nodded along, of course. So, we've created a family membership program. Everyone contributes based on their income and family size. Trevor leaned forward, confused. What does that even mean? Dad slid the spreadsheet toward us. Mom and Dad, $150 a month. Daniel, $200 a month. Trevor and Amy, $250 a month. Rachel and Mark, $50 a month. You two don't have kids, Dad said. looking at Trevor and me. You have disposable income. Rachel has 3 children. These costs are crushing them. Family helps family. There it was. The weapon. Trevor exploded. This is insane. We're saving for our own kids, for a house. Dad just brushed him off. You make good money, you can afford both. Amy stood up, furious. This is manipulation. We're leaving. Mom, in that quiet, devastating voice, said, if you leave, you're choosing money over family. But Trevor and Amy left anyway. Then, all eyes were on me. Sarah had seen this coming just like in her own family. They'll frame it as helping the kids, she'd said. Not helping Rachel. The kids. That's how they'll get you. I looked at my line on that spreadsheet. $200 a month. I thought about my rental properties, my income, my savings, my comfortable life. I thought about Emily, Josh, and Lily, my niece and nephews whom I genuinely loved. But then I thought about becoming Trevor, exploding, fighting, and losing. That's fair, I said. Rachel exhaled, a relieved smile spreading across her face. Thank you, Danny. This means so much. Dad shook my hand. You're doing the right thing. I paid for 6 months. $1,200. Sent Venmo payments to Mom on the 1st of each month. I went to Emily's piano recital, Josh's hockey game, Lily's gymnastics. Rachel posted photos, tagging me, gushing about family support and Uncle Danny. Comments poured in. What a great brother. Family is everything. Nobody asked how I was. Nobody asked about my life. I was there to applaud, to contribute, to fill the role assigned to me. I was a wallet, not a person. They don't see you, Sarah said one night in July. They see a wallet. They're family. And that hit me hard. In August, exactly 6 months after that meeting, I stopped. I stopped going to events. I stopped responding to the group chat. I stopped attending Sunday dinners. And I stopped sending the $200. The first text came from Mom. Danny, we didn't receive your contribution this month. Everything okay? I didn't respond. Then Rachel. Hey, Mom said you forgot the family membership. Emily's competition fees are due. Still nothing from me. Dad called. I let it go to voicemail. Daniel, this is your father. We had an agreement. Your mother is worried. Call me back. I didn't. The group chat lit up like a Christmas tree. Has anyone heard from Danny? He's probably just busy with work. He's avoiding responsibility. Trevor, bless him, chimed in. Maybe he finally realized how messed up this whole thing is. Rachel shot back. Trevor, not now. Trevor, I'm just saying. Mom, this isn't about money. This is about family. I muted the chat. I was done. What they didn't know. Sarah was 6 weeks pregnant. We'd been trying for 2 years, 3 rounds of IVF, $47,000 in medical bills, countless heartbreaks. When that test came back positive, July 18th, we told no one. I want to make sure it's viable first, Sarah said. I can't handle everyone's opinions right now. I agreed. We went to every appointment alone. No baby shower, no gender reveal, no Facebook announcements. When she started showing, Sarah wore loose clothes. We avoided family. In December, at 32 weeks, we bought a bigger house 3 towns over and moved. Didn't tell my family. They hadn't asked where I'd been for 4 months anyway. Our son, James Daniel, was born on February 14th, perfectly healthy. Sarah's parents were there, crying happy tears, meeting their first grandchild. My phone stayed off. When we got home, Sarah's mom had stocked the fridge, her dad had assembled the crib. They held James, took photos, then left us to rest. Shouldn't you tell your family? Sarah's mom asked gently. Sarah looked at me. I shook my head. Not yet. Sarah understood. Her mother didn't push. 3 weeks later, I was ready. I posted one photo on Facebook. James asleep in my arms. One caption, Welcome to the world, James Daniel. Born February 14th, 2024. I tagged Sarah. Nobody else. It was 8:47 p.m. on a Tuesday. My phone started ringing at 8:48 p.m. Mom. Dad. Rachel. Rachel again. Dad again. Mom again. Texts flooded in. Danny, you had a baby? Why didn't you tell us? When did this happen? This is unacceptable. Call me immediately. I can't believe you kept this from us. We're your family. I'm coming over right now. Send me your address. Mom's devastated. How could you do this? The group chat exploded. 47 messages in 10 minutes. Trevor, bless him again, sent one message directly to me. Congratulations, man. He's beautiful. I responded, thank you. I didn't respond to anyone else. At 9:15 p.m., Dad called. I answered. Where is Sarah's hospital? He demanded. We're coming to see our grandson. She's home, I said calmly. We've been home for 3 weeks. Silence. 3 weeks, he repeated. You've had a son for 3 weeks and didn't tell your own parents? That's correct. Why? Because I didn't want to. That's not a reason. It's the only reason you're getting. Daniel, I don't know what's happened to you, but this is cruel. Your mother is crying. Rachel is devastated. You've hurt this family deeply. My voice was ice. I paid $1,200 to be part of this family, Dad. When I stopped paying, nobody noticed I was gone for 6 months. So I don't think I hurt anyone. I just stopped funding Rachel's kids' activities. That's what this is about. Money. We raised you better than this. You raised me to believe family helps family, I retorted. I helped. Then I realized I wasn't family. They treated me like the backup fund. So I withdrew. You're being dramatic. I had a son, Dad. 3 weeks ago. Nobody called to check on me in 6 months. Nobody asked why I wasn't at Sunday dinners. Nobody wondered if I was okay. You noticed when the money stopped. You didn't notice when I did. I hung up. My phone rang 31 more times that night. I turned it off. The next day, they showed up at my old address. My former landlord called me. There are people here claiming to be your parents. They're demanding to know where you moved. I told him, tell them you can't release tenant information. Already did. They're not leaving. Call the police if they don't leave in 10 minutes. They left in 8. Mom texted from the old address. We just want to meet our grandson. My response, no. Rachel texted, please, Danny, the kids want to meet their cousin. My response, the kids don't know he exists. You want to meet him? The answer is no. Dad texted, you're punishing us for asking you to contribute to family. My reply, I'm protecting my son from people who only value me for money. The voicemails were worse. Rachel, trying a pathetic plea. Danny, please. I'm sorry if we made you feel used. That was never our intention. We just needed help, and you were always so generous. Please let us see James. Emily made him a card. She's asking why you don't love us anymore. Mom, playing the victim. Sweetheart, I don't understand what happened. We love you. We've always loved you. Please call me. I just want to hear your voice. I want to hold my grandson. Dad, the enforcer. This has gone far enough. You're being selfish and immature. Family doesn't punish family like this. You need to grow up and let this grudge go. I deleted them all. Sarah listened to Rachel's before I did. That's manipulative, she said, disgusted. Using the kids. I know. Are you okay? I'm perfect, I said. And I meant it. James was sleeping soundly. Sarah was recovering beautifully. We had everything we needed. We had peace. After 2 weeks of silence, the tactics shifted. Rachel sent a baby gift to my old address. The landlord forwarded it, a onesie that said, best nephew ever, and a card. We love you already, James. Love, Aunt Rachel, Uncle Mark, Emily, Josh, and Lily. I donated the onesie, trashed the card. Mom tried a different approach. I respect that you need space, but please know we love you. When you're ready, we're here. It was the first message that didn't demand anything. I didn't respond, but I didn't block her. Dad, however, got blocked after his final text. You're making a mistake. Family is all we have. You'll regret this. Then, in March, Trevor called. I answered. Hey, he said, I'm not calling to convince you of anything. I just wanted to say congratulations properly. Amy and I are really happy for you guys. Thanks, Trev. For what it's worth, I think you did the right thing. What they did to you, and to me, was wrong. I should have stood my ground like you did. You did stand your ground. I corrected him. You left that dinner. Yeah, and then I came back, apologized, and started paying $100 a month as a compromise. I'm still paying it. Why? Because Amy wants kids, and she's afraid if we don't maintain the relationship, they won't have grandparents. They'll have grandparents who teach them that love is conditional, that you're only valuable if you contribute financially, that boundaries are punishments. Silence. Yeah, Trevor said quietly. You're right. You don't have to keep paying. I know. I'm just not as strong as you. You are, I told him. You just haven't realized it yet. We talked for an hour about James, about his job, about everything except the family drama. At the end, he asked, Can I meet him sometime? Yeah, I smiled. Come this weekend. Trevor and Amy came Saturday. They brought thoughtful baby books, held James, took photos. They acted like normal aunt and uncle. Don't post these anywhere, I warned. We won't, Trevor promised. And they kept their word. 6 months passed. James grew, started smiling, sleeping through the night. Sarah went back to work part-time. Life was good. The messages from my family slowed, then stopped. In August, exactly 1 year since I'd stopped paying that family membership, I got a text from Mom. Your father had a heart attack. He's in ICU. I thought you should know. I stared at that message for 20 minutes. Sarah found me. What's wrong? I showed her. What do you want to do? She asked. I didn't know. Do you want him to die without meeting James? That was the question, wasn't it? I thought about Dad, the spreadsheet, family helps family, the 31 ignored calls, the demand for access to my son without an apology. But I also thought about him teaching me to ride a bike, coming to my high school graduation, walking me through my first job interview. People are complicated. I'll go, I said. Alone. For 1 hour. The hospital was 40 minutes away. I walked into ICU at 3 p.m. Mom was there. Rachel was there. Trevor was there. Mom stood, tears streaming, trying to hug me. I stepped back. I'm here for Dad. That's all. She nodded, sinking back down. Rachel started to approach. Danny, I dashed, not now. I walked into Dad's room. He was awake. Pale, wires everywhere, but awake. Daniel, he croaked, voice weak. Dad. You came. Mom said you had a heart attack. Mild one. They say I'll be fine. Good. We sat in silence for a long moment. Then he spoke. I'm sorry, he said. I waited. I didn't realize what we were doing to you. To Trevor. I thought we were helping Rachel, helping the kids. I didn't see that we were hurting you. You saw, I said, my voice flat. You just didn't care. He closed his eyes. You're right. The moment I stopped being useful, I continued, I stopped existing to you. All of you. 6 months. Nobody called. Nobody checked on me. But when you saw I had a son, suddenly I mattered again. Not because you loved me, because you wanted access to him. That's not. It is true, Dad. And you know it. He was quiet. I have a son now, I said. And I will never let him feel the way you made me feel. Like his worth is tied to what he can provide. Like love is a transaction. I never meant to make you feel that way. But you did. And you never apologized until now. When you're in a hospital bed, when you're scared. I'm apologizing now. I know, and I appreciate it. But it doesn't erase a year of silence. It doesn't erase the spreadsheet. It doesn't erase treating me like a bank. Dad opened his eyes, looked at me. Can I meet him? James. I thought about it. Not yet, I said. Maybe someday. But not yet. You need to prove that you've changed. That this isn't just a scared apology. That you actually value me as a person, not as a source of money. How do I do that? I don't know, I admitted. But I'll know it when I see it. I stood up. I hope you recover fully, Dad. I really do. But I'm not ready to let you back into my life yet. I understand. I walked to the door, then stopped. And for the record, I said, turning back, I'm not a bookkeeper. I haven't been for 13 years. I'm a real estate agent. I own 12 rental properties worth $4.2 million. Last year, I made $340,000. You never asked what I actually did for a living. You just assumed, and I let you, because I knew the moment you found out I had money, you'd take it. I left. In the hallway, Rachel caught me, tears streaming. Danny, please. I'm sorry. I didn't know it hurt you this much. You didn't care. There's a difference. That's not fair. You know what's not fair? Being the only person without kids and being charged the most in the family membership. You know what's not fair? Having nobody ask about my life for 6 months. You know what's not fair? Using your kids as emotional pressure to manipulate me into giving you access to my son. I wasn't. Emily made him a card. Really, Rachel? Emily doesn't know James exists. You told her to make a card to guilt me. That's manipulative. That's ugly. She started crying harder. I was desperate. For what? I asked. Money? Or a relationship? She didn't answer. That's what I thought, I said, walking past her. Trevor was waiting by the elevator. That took guts, he said. It took a year of silence to build that guts, I replied. I'm proud of you. Thanks, Trev. We rode the elevator down together. In the parking lot, he stopped me. I stopped paying. What? The family membership. After watching you stand your ground, I realized I didn't have to keep funding Rachel's lifestyle either. How'd they react? Same as with you. Guilt, manipulation, demands. I didn't cave this time. Good for you. Amy's pregnant, he confided, a wide smile spreading across his face. We're not telling them until the baby's born. I smiled back. Smart move. Learned from the best. Looking back, this whole ordeal wasn't really about $200 a month. It was about value, about visibility, about boundaries. My family had built a hierarchy where your worth was measured by fitting a certain mold, marriage, kids, staying close, playing a role. I failed all those tests in their eyes. I lived across town. I married a woman they barely knew. I worked a boring job. So, when Rachel needed money, I became useful. Not seen, just useful. It hammered home a brutal truth. Family relationships need boundaries, just like any other healthy relationship. We're taught that blood is thicker than water, that family gets unlimited access, endless chances. But that's a dangerous lie. Family can be toxic, manipulative, financially and emotionally draining. You are allowed to protect yourself. You are allowed to say no. The hardest part is that sometimes abuse doesn't look like abuse. It looks like helping. It looks like being there for family. Contributing to piano lessons and hockey tournaments. Who could object to that? But when help becomes an expectation, when boundaries are branded as selfish, when your worth is solely tied to your financial contribution, that's exploitation. I didn't cut off my family because they asked for money once. I distanced myself because they built a system where my value was purely transactional. And when I tested that by removing the money, I found I had no value to them at all. That's the test, isn't it? Remove what they're taking from you, money, time, emotional labor, and see if the relationship still exists. If it doesn't, it was never a relationship. It was a transaction. So, here's my question for you. Was I right to keep my son's birth a secret? Some people say yes, they'd proven they didn't value me, so why give them access to my most precious relationship? Others argue no. Keeping a grandchild from grandparents is cruel, no matter the circumstances. Two wrongs don't make a right. I honestly don't know the definitive answer. All I know is I made my choice out of protection, not punishment. I wasn't trying to hurt them. I was trying to shield my son from people who might teach him that love is conditional, that worth is tied to what you provide, that boundaries are betrayals. But where's the line between protecting your child and depriving them of family relationships? What do you think? Would you have done the same thing in my shoes? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm genuinely curious to hear your perspective.